Hey pretties, welcome back to the channel. Okay y'all, we're doing a pick a card drawing tonight. As you can see, I've got the 3 cards revealed. We have 1, 2, and 3. We're doing it from the Wild Mystic Oracle today as promised, and I got the little, I'm all set up for y'all, okay? No wasting any time around here. And I'm going to tell you right now, after pulling these 1, 2, 3 cards, at the bottom of your deck, we've got the love card. That's right. Okay, y'all. So get your love Jones in gear, and let's do this reading. Now, if y'all came in and you were drawing to the number 1 card, that's your wisdom card. This is the owl, is what it represents, is the wisdom. Okay, and your moon phases are at the top, and you see, actually this sort of looks like spiderish to me, which means it's the weaver. So it's kind of like the wisdom dream weaver card for me. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and look this one up. So my lovelies who were drawn to card number 1, let's just see what's checking, what's shaking, what's checking. I'm coming on a little bit late for me, y'all, so please forgive me. I'm a little punchy. I had a really long day and a really great day, and I hope you did too. Okay, this card represents wisdom and learning. Okay, in ancient Greece, the owl was associated with Athena, the goddess of wisdom. Easy for me to say. Okay, now this card encourages reasoning and deep understanding, organization and analysis, which, okay, planetarily you are completely supported in this effort of, analyzing things and going over things and getting organized, being thoughtful and giving things in your life consideration, giving your own reactions consideration. Okay, rather than flying off the handle. And we've been getting a lot of messages about that, y'all. So even though there might be some, choppy waters this week, don't let it ruffle your feathers, okay? Because, no pun intended, but don't let it ruffle your little owl feathers, because you're going to be so much better off if you can maintain your own center and try and, keep yourself from being a reactionary nut. Okay, basically I'm just saying, you know how we can do, y'all, because we can be emotionally invested in trying to defend ourselves or trying to get a point across, and really honestly at the end of the day, when it all slices out, it is not that important. Okay, now, and we are going to draw a card to clarify this wisdom card, or to put it into context from our grace card deck. So I'm going to put that there for just a second, and I want to give you just one more tidbit on this owl card. Okay, look, it's not only about tapping into your own inner wisdom, your own wise self, but it's also acquiescing enough to understand that wisdom comes from weird quarters sometimes. Things that you may need to know might come from unexpected sources. And it's so important for us to slow ourselves down, slow our own agenda down just a little bit, kind of curtail all that judgmental momentum that we can get going, and allow other energies and circumstances to feed us the information that we need. And no, it's not always, Cheerios, it's not always Lucky Charms, but it's still, if it pops up for us in our environment, in our reality, there's something there that we need to see about it. Okay, and so it's not about just solely tapping into your own sense of wisdom, but also being humble enough and understanding enough and calm and kind enough to accept the wisdom from other experiences outside ourselves, people outside of ourselves. Even if it doesn't look like someone can really give you any good knowledge, look, don't prejudge that cover, because you really just never know. And so, Source is sending us experiences and people all the time, embedded with information that we need to move forward in a straight line on our path, on our best evolution on this planet. And a lot of times we blow past that information, and it just puts us in a loop. It puts us in a repeat pattern. Let's let that information in, and that is really tapping in to the wisdom that you've already been given, that you have been bestowed with. When you got here, you had all that. Okay, it's just the stuff that comes in our lives that kind of layers on top of us and prevents us, like judgments, that we assume those. We pick those up along the way. If we can peel back those layers that have been laying upon us, get to our really wise selves, then we are in that acquiescence. We are in that humility that will allow these things, these symbols, these signs, these synchronicities, these bits of information from unlikely sources to get into us so that we can move along our merry way in a much better way. All right. The shadow reading on this card is when wisdom and experience go ignored, the battle is lost. The owl card may represent distorted facts and stubborn belief. And that's, again, it's like kind of like thinking we know better. We always know better. We know more than everybody else, and it's not like we go around consciously thinking that, but a lot of the times we disallow other information to come in on that premise. Okay? And it could, and that's what I'm saying. The shadow of the owl card might also warn you of ignorance and foolishness within yourself and others. So just, learn to discern. That's one of my favorite phrases. Learn to discern, and you cannot be learning to discerning. Okay, you can't really learn that power of discernment. You can't put it into practice if you are constantly running your own aggressive agenda. Okay? All right, and let's see. Also, now this is pretty cool. If any of y'all have some sort of exam or test coming up, it indicates good luck on this exam or test. It also gives and lends support to study and meditation. And it also gives the frequency and the vibration of assistance in finding an answer to a query. So meditate on this owl spirit, especially if there's something you really need to know in your world. Okay? All right, now y'all, I'm going to pull your grace card. Now for this number one pile, or number one card, I already pre-shuffled the grace card deck, so I'm just going to pull one card to give us a little bit of round out on this owl energy, this wisdom energy, this need to respect the wisdom in ourselves and in other sources, especially those sources that seem kind of unlikely. And it's just best not to prejudge. And like I said, if we can settle down and allow our lives to flow organically and just understand that whatever is sent to you is meant to be, it's there for a reason. Okay, beautiful. You got the Valor card. Valor. Be courageous. The unmistakable touch of grace will follow us wherever we go. I love that beautiful color synergy. Just between those two cards, I'm feeling like a lot of harmony. And I think a lot of times that we don't believe that we have the answers within. We've already been programmed and conditioned to pretty much believe that we're inept creatures, that we don't have that wisdom source within us. We're always seeming to seek that thing outside of ourselves when really it's at home, it's within, it's ourselves, it's a direct feed to source that we get through our intuition. And I think that the bravery in tapping in and trusting your own intuition is pretty much under the Valor category. I mean, it's tough. It's because you feel like you're going it alone. If somebody else hasn't told you that, or you didn't read it in a book, it seems enigmatic a lot of the times. It's really tough to trust our own wise self. You know, especially with everything that we've been programmed with along the line in our lives, everything that we've been conditioned to believe about ourselves, being we're mere human beings, we do not have much power, you know, everything is outside of ourselves. Well, you know what? It takes a lot of grace and a lot of bravery to embrace your own inklings and your own inspirations, but I'm promising you that's where the real wisdom is, because that's where it's housed, that's where it's directly fed. You know, a lot of times we get these synchronicities and stuff from outside of ourselves, but a lot of times it's the prompting of the universe, it's prompting of source, because we are not going within, we are not listening to ourselves. And you know, there's a spirit message that came in today, and so this number one card, now this is going to go a little bit longer, but this is so important because this is absolutely the spirit message of today, and that's all about learning to trust yourself. Learning to go within and really dig deep and learn how to love yourself. You know, slice and dice. Give yourself the time of day. Own the stuff that you don't like about yourself. Give yourself the credit of some of this stuff and stop trying to. We tend to deflect all of our animosity, all our anxiety off onto other circumstances and other people, when really all we need is the courage to stand up and own our own stuff. Own our own stuff. And that is the highest wisdom. I mean, seriously, walking in our own strength, owning ourselves. When you learn to love yourself, when you go through that process and you get to that point, and it's different for everyone, so there is no real blueprint, there's just that template of doing this work. But when you get to that point of absolutely caring for yourself, knowing that you've got your own back, liking yourself, you know, despite of any of the seeming shortcomings that you still have, or misgivings from things that you've done in the past or said in the past or been in the past. When you get to that point where you really wouldn't be anybody else, and you feel so blessed to be who you are, when you get to that point where you trust yourself, where you honor these deals that you make with yourself, when you're in that space of really truly being your best friend, your own best friend, and you're not waiting for somebody else to pat us on the back. Yes, it's nice to be loved, it's nice to be complimented, but that is not our cornerstone. That's not how we operate. When we're already filling our own cup, you know, we are tapping into this wisdom that we need, especially right now on this planet. We need to be able to trust ourselves. You know, and a little bit of trusting ourselves takes this bravery. It takes the valor. But it comes so much more easily when we learn to love ourselves. It's not so brave. It's just it's second nature to tap into our inner wisdom, to trust our wise self. When we can trust ourselves, it's not a big deal, you know, to go within and be in alignment with that inner self, especially because I'm telling you, a lot of the time that information is really contrary to what the world's trying to tell us, or what our family or our friends are trying to tell us. You know, and that does take bravery, that does take valor, to stand up in that inner knowing, against the grain a lot of times, against the norm a lot of times, against the outside information that's coming in a lot of times. Okay? All right, that is your beautiful message, y'all. Thank you for being here so much. I appreciate your time. You know it's very valuable in your world, and it's very valuable to me, so thanks for being here. Y'all, if you care to, hit that like button, all right? And if you're not subscribed already, please consider subscribing. It'd be joyous to have you along on this journey. So I will see you soon. Thank you for joining me. If you didn't pick another number, love you, love you, love you, and I will see you soon for a Grace card reading. All right. Let's see. Howdy, y'all. Thank you for being here. Y'all who gravitated toward number 2, this is the transform card. You got the butterfly, baby. the butterfly baby. And it looks like it's kind of hovering over a lotus, and I haven't really figured out what all of that is, but one day I will look that up, y'all, and I'm going to get better at discerning all the symbolism in these beautiful cards, because I know it's vast, and I know I'm only skimming the surface. Y'all, we're going to clarify or give context to your wisdom, or your wisdom card was number 1. This number 2 card, the transform card, with the grace cards. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and shuffle these grace cards. Now look, right off the top of my head, y'all, you know, the transform butterfly card is a little bit in alignment like with the snake card, where it sheds its skin, but the difference is the transform card is sort of like the death card in the tarot, because it's a full-on transformation, y'all. This is not just a new illuminated outer veneer. This is like a full-on rebirth situation. So whatever you're going through, it may not be all that comfortable, but somebody pointed out to me, I told them that I was transforming myself out of this long recovery from a stroke that I had a couple of years ago, and I was like, this is just so painful. It's like I'm past a lot of the physical therapy part. I still have a lot of strength training and stuff to do, but reintegrating myself after years of being in solitary confinement, basically trying to rehab myself from this, it's so squeaky for me being out and trying to interact with other people and being back in the world, and things have changed like crazy, y'all. In 7 years, you can't imagine how this world has changed. But they pointed out that when the butterfly emerges from that cocoon, it's not easy, and it is a struggle. And it's muscle building. It's building those butterfly wing muscles, so that once the butterfly is finally out of the cocoon, it can actually take flight, not just crawl around the ground, because on the ground the butterfly is, sitting prey. But anyway, so if there's something that you're going through and it's feeling like a struggle, or, we're all, let me tell you something, a lot of us right now, there's stuff changing. We are ending cycles and beginning cycles. And it is, even though we may be cognizant that it's for the best and we're really looking forward to the changes, some of it's kind of startling, some of it's uncomfortable. The transitions are not always as easy as we'd like them to be. At the bottom of this deck today, y'all, we got the love card. So just settle down and let your love flow. And remember that love surrounds us. It's constant. That is the highest vibration, and love surrounds us at all times. And all we have to do is align our frequencies with that love that nature is giving us, that this world is giving us. That's all it is. All it is just like the little turning of your head, basically, or your turning of your energy to align with the love that constantly surrounds us. So whatever you're going through, I hope that will help you. Now, this card in our Wild Mystic Oracle Guidebook. In our book, the card represents change and transition. Hello, is there an echo in here? Butterflies have long been associated with transformation due to their elegant transition from caterpillar to butterfly. And, they're saying elegant transition. Let me tell you something. No, man, the transition is not so elegant, okay? It's not so graceful. It's tough. It's tough. It's tough to be the caterpillar. It's tough to go into the cocoon, and it's tough to get out, okay? So if you are in the spot of transforming at the moment, you're still in that little bit of a struggle, but you're almost out, okay? So tap into your love center, tap inside, tap into that love. Give yourself the love that you deserve for making it to this point, because you're almost out of this, okay? The presence of the butterfly in your reading may indicate a choice or transformation after a period of soul searching, or dark night, or whatever it translated into for you, and the rebirth of the soul with new purpose, form, or meaning. And that's another thing. A lot of us, all of a sudden, it doesn't matter how old you are, a lot of us, we're just coming into our own. We're just starting to feel like we may have like a little line on, or a line in on what we're doing here, what we're supposed to be doing here. We might be tapping into some new source of joy, and yeah, it's going to cause us to have to shift gears and possibly shed a few skins, and make some transitions in our world. But you know it deep down, because it causes joy. It causes joy that you haven't felt in a long time or ever. But it does mean leaving an environment sometimes, changing your friend set. And you can still love people from afar, but a lot of times when we're starting to align with our higher purpose, a lot of the old associations, they have to disintegrate in some form, certainly in our daily lives, for us to be able to have that space to grow into our new, our new butterflyness. Okay, our new butterflyness, all right? Let's see. I'm not going to go through the whole thing now. The butterfly one's quite, they're all 2 pages, but this one seems to be longer than a lot of them. Okay. When dealing with themes of rebirth and metamorphosis, remember that something must end, excuse me, so that something new may take its place. Caterpillars must destroy themselves, dissolving to become the beautiful winged creatures we know. So you may be in that space of just, I don't know who I am anymore. I'm absolutely losing stuff. I just know I'm going in this direction. I just know that I'm going into something different. I feel like I'm ascending. I feel like I'm rising. I feel like I'm changing. I don't really know what I'm doing, but all I know is that this old person that I was, these old habits that I had, they're just not working for me anymore. They don't even exist anymore. Now what am I going to do? Well, you're going to give it a chance to process. You're going to give some patience to, this whole transition situation. You can't respect the process of the change. Live through it with a little bit of grace, knowing that whatever this is absolutely delivering you to a whole new reality, a whole new existence, which is going to take you really into some sort of dream world. That's what I'm feeling. I'm intuitively just picking up that as hard as it may be, and as deep as a struggle there may have been, that on the other side of this, and we're so close, number 2, that something is going to open up for us, even if you can't see it, even if you have no clue what's happening or what's coming. Something huge is going to open up for you. Okay? And when your old life had like 6 colors to it, this one's going to have a kaleidoscope of colors, and there's going to be a lot of pressure because there's going to be a lot of choice. Okay? But the best thing you can do is just open yourselves, open your heart, tap into your love for your life, for yourself, for your journey, for your, this transformation, this turn that your life is taking. Have some peace with whatever needs to fall away. The butterfly doesn't drag the cocoon with it when it goes to flight. It would never make it off the ground if it did that. Okay, so, and I know my face looks like kind of pain when I was, because I'm feeling it, I'm feeling, it's hard. It's hard to let things go, but the only way to pick up flight, the only way to get air, the only way to do it is to lighten yourself. All right, and that takes trust. You gotta trust in this thing that's happening. Trust in this. Be devoted to your own journey enough to allow this to happen and not offer too much contrast. Because the less contrast and resistance that we offer, the smoother things will go. The easier it will be to get our lift once we've emerged from this cocoon. Okay? And then this card basically is, you've manifested this change. Okay? So welcome it. Because your spirit knows that you need this. And your body, your ego, your head, all of that may be resistant a little bit because it's different. And sometimes when things are different, it's just painful. It's like it may not be like 10 grade pain, but it's this annoyance of having to change things. You know, I don't know. It's like the forgiveness when you've decided that you want to be a leaner, meaner body, and you've got to, instead of hanging out after work and watching videos or going to the bar for happy hour, you end up, you want to go to the gym, or you want to go home and you want to do laps, or it's this change up. And at first it is kind of inconvenient. It can be painful, it can be inconvenient, it can be annoying, but there's a higher order to all of this, okay? And remember, that higher order is you. Your spirit created, manifested this change. So don't give back what you're trying to give to yourself. And this card, it carries the energy of helping you, aiding you, giving you love in this transition, because you need it. We need that. It also could, for those of you who are looking for it, indicate a new job or a new work circumstance, which will be better for you. And it may not be a gazillion more dollars, but it's going to be a gazillion times better in terms of environment and freedom. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. I mean, you can't beat this one to death. It's just it is what it is. The destruction before a transformation may be difficult, and change can fill one's heart with fear, but this card reminds you that the destination is worth the journey. It also reminds you that you set this up for yourself. So please allow this to be for yourself. Try not to struggle too much, because it's like quicksand. The more you struggle in quicksand, the harder it is to be buoyant, and the undertow is like undeniable. Just relax, let this process happen, get your wings strong through whatever struggle or uncomfortableness that there is, and be ready to go fly, because you're about to go fly. All right, now here's your grace card. This will give it a little bit of context. It may be a completely different subject. I don't know. We'll just see what the grace cards have to say about all this transformation. Trust me, y'all, I'm going through it. So number 2, if that's what's happening, that's what's happening. Invoke. I love that card. Look at it. I love that. I'm a bubble girl. I love bubbles. Yes, I still love bubbles. Ask for a blessing. There's an endless supply of divine support awaiting your request at all times. Okay? So if you're having a tough time going through this transformation, if you're if you want to crawl back in the cocoon, just ask yourself, ask source. Get outside yourself. Get it out. Ask for help, ask for support, ask for the reminders in your world, in your practical life, to be showing you that this is worth the struggle, that this is definitely the way to go. Because the minute you speak up for yourself like that, the minute you invoke or supplicate or say something outside of your interior realm, I mean, even if you think it's going to happen for you, something's going to be answered for you. But when you put it into this is a vibratory realm. So once you speak what it is that you need, look, I need to be shown. I'm forgetting why I'm going through this. I don't know where I'm going. I feel like I'm wandering. I'm leaving what was because I know that's no longer serving, but I haven't gotten to what is. I know I'm the light, so it's going to be dark until I walk through that doorway, but please give me whatever you need. Give me the courage. Give me the reminders in my daily life of how special I am and how special this journey is. Tell it like it is. Say it to yourself. Ask source. But speak up for yourself, okay? Because when we do that, we are automatically we're always given that information if we will be open enough, acquiescent enough to let it in when it comes, okay? Not to close yourself off. This is not like 5-minute prayer and then go back to business. This is a prayer with expectation to be shown, to be given that answer. And when you expect that, you get that. That's the way life is. And I'm going to tell you something right now. Planetarily right now, I want you, this is a spirit message for you, viewers who, I'm an English major, so viewers who picked number 2, the transform card. This right now is your spirit message. This right now is a time astrologically where we are being supported to think big and believe in our dreams, and to not let combative energies change our minds, not let other people's doubts in dreaming, in achieving, color our own belief in our own journey. And it's easy to let that happen, so maybe bite your tongue. Maybe don't be so open with these high ideals and these big dreams that you might want to have, that you're trying to look, and this is the time to do it. So you don't really have to go broadcast that. Don't put it on blast, because you will get contrasting opinions. You'll get resistance from people who, they don't mean to dash your hopes, but they will do it because they don't believe it for themselves. Okay? So if your dreams are huge, if they're outside the box, which if you're in this transform energy, more than likely what you're trying to dream up for yourself is really big. It's outside. It's way up there. It's way out there. It's something that you've never been through, never achieved in your world, but you can do it. You can do it. And just, treat yourself with a little bit of kindness and a little bit of love. Keep it to yourself. Because a lot, like I said, a lot of people, they're not trying to dash your hopes or squelch your dreams. They just don't get it. If they don't believe it for themselves, they can't believe it for someone else. Okay? And even though they're not purposefully trying to come at you or stop your dreaming or your wishing or your achieving or your metamorphosis and your butterflyness, little things will come out and they will plant seeds, and you will take them away, and it's just unnecessary roughness. Okay? So do this work for yourself. Harness this planetary energy right now to boost your transformation power. Believe in this thing that's happening with you. Allow that past to let itself go. Allow yourself to be lighter. Open up space for the new stuff and welcome the new blank board. Okay? It can be scary. It can be tough, these transitions, but do yourself a favor and welcome something new, because if you can welcome something new, if you can look at it with enthusiasm, it's going to be better than you could ever have thought. Okay? Y'all, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate your time. You know that so much. I do. If you care for this reading, please hit the thumbs up. That'd be very cool. If you're not subscribed yet, maybe you'll consider subscribing. I would love that. I'd love for you to come along on this journey. If you did not pick number 3, or you did not pick another number, which would be the number 3 kindness card, thank you so much for being here. And I will see you very soon for a grace card reading. Thanks, guys. Okay, y'all. Hey, y'all, thank you for being here. Viewers, if you gravitated toward card number 3, you got the kindness card. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. This is the deer. And you can see the little Mercury stamp on there. So there's a little Mercury energy in there. And it's beautiful that this heart is here too. Because excuse me, I got a little frog in my throat today. I don't know what the deal is. At the bottom of our deck, the bottom of this full reading, we got the love card. That's right, y'all. So slip into your love slippers and let's see what this kindness card is all about. All right. I am also, y'all, I'm going to give some context to the card that you picked, the number 3 card, kindness. Let's see. We're going to do it today with the grace card deck, okay? So we're going to give this kindness card a little round out. Let me find your deer card. here we go. Okay. Yeah, I put little markers in my book so that I could go quick like a bunny. All right, because I'm not trying to waste anybody's time, y'all. Okay. Did I say thank you for being here? I'm sure I did, and thank you for being here. All right. So now that that's out of the way, this card represents kindness and understanding. The deer is often associated with innocence and purity in Christian mythology, inspiring conversion and piety. Okay? In Greek mythology, Heracles' son, Telephus, I don't know, was abandoned by his mom in the countryside where a doe suckled and cared for him, keeping him alive. The deer's kindness is selfless and compassionate. It is a sweet kindness and a friendship fueled by unconditional generosity. I want to just interject right there, y'all. I want to talk about this kindness thing. You have no real idea how utterly life-changing and transformative it is for us to tap into our sense of kindness. And I'm talking in the face of everything. Yeah, my chair squeaks too. Y'all, if you do tarot, check out Dove and Serpent Tarot sometime. He is just divine, and his chair squeaks too. But when I tapped into, now look, I'm Sagittarian, I'm a smarty pants. I kind of tell it like it is. I've always gotten in trouble growing up for being kind of curt and smarty aleck. And it's clever and it's fun to do. It's, it's like sarcasm. Sarcasm's kind of fun, But the bottom line is, when we change, when we evolve, it is so much more fun to be truly kind, especially to someone who is absolutely hell-bent on breaking us out of our kindness. And we're talking the narcissists and the gaslighters there are just people out there who are still in that energy of like picking on other people, And when you get to this point in your life, I'm going to show you this again. When the first thing off the top of your head is the love vibe, when you get a smile on your face when someone is trying to just pick at a scab and is just trying to poke the bear, or the deer in this case, when you get that huge sense of compassion in you, you can wield it like the Queen of Swords, baby. And it's not to kill them. Well, okay, it is kind of killing them with kindness, but that's not what we're doing. What we're doing is we're not allowing someone else to move us out of that space. And when you've got that going on, which apparently you are tapping, if you picked out this card number 3, you're definitely tapping into this corner of kindness. And just want to tell you that it's a pool worth diving into. Because when you can learn to really wield your kindness, it's not only beneficial for another person to see that working, you'll have people, you'll be the demonstrative one in the room when you can put this into action. Other people will notice this thing that you've got, even when someone else is trying to aggravate you or a situation is trying to get the better of you. And that kind of teaching, that kind of representation in life, that is going to get you, I'm going to tell you, blessings unimaginable. Okay? I'm not talking about like chests showing up at your door full of gold, coins. I'm talking about bigger stuff than that. Just a sense of grace in your world where things just synchronistically work out, where you stop worrying so much, where you're not poking any other bears so you don't have a lot of aggravation coming your way. Your life transforms, truly transforms. Now, in here, let's see. It urges you not to filter this new experience through past pain or trauma and treat the situation as fresh. Now, that's the thing, too. It's like you can tap into this kindness thing that we've all got it. We've all got this tool. We've all got this skill. And it's a mad skill, y'all. It seriously is. Because if you can get this one and you can utilize it and make it part of your skill set, you are the top echelon warrior on this planet when you can wield your kindness in the face of adversity, in the face of contrast. And the key is not to associate, not to try and associate any new experience with a past experience. And I'm not going to say that's easy, because it's not easy, but it's not as hard as you think. Okay, when you see this, oh, here comes D, y'all. I don't know what she's going to do over here, which is hopefully she'll keep going. But D's my cat. She's the young one. She likes to play with anything basically anything. What was I saying about that? Oh, yeah, try not to drag experiential stuff into a new experience. Okay, try not to drag the past into the present. Okay, and I know it's hard, because when we go through stuff in life, that sort of conditions us. And it sort of sets a matrix or programs us to be a certain way in similar situations. Okay, but the best thing you can do is deprogram that very quickly. Okay, and they say that, okay, here's a good example, here's an easy example, where they say, you've lost your ex, you liked your ex and they're gone now, whatever, and you had some problems with your ex, and now you've met this new person, and they say, don't bring that experience with you to this new experience, because if you do that, you're basically going to have the same situation happen again. Okay, it's like that in every experience. It's not just love, it's not just it's not just relationships, it's every experience, it's every single thing that we experience in our world. It is really hard, like I said, because that's the matrix. What we carry, that's what we use. That's the template that we use to go forward in our lives, when really that's the huge disservice to our best evolution on this planet. Okay, and it's really hard to harness this major sort of kindness when we're constantly putting past experience in the way of being able to rise above a current experience and utilize our sense of love, our love center, to wield our kindness. And that doesn't mean you have to shake somebody's hand if they're trying to slap you. It's not about that. It's the way you run your inside energy. It's not always a demonstrative thing that we're doing, but it's certainly curbing our reactionary self. It's certainly not allowing other people's energy to rock us off our kind core. Okay, but to know the kind core, you got to tap into that kindness. You gotta, you gotta. I do that a lot, but it takes, pulling yourself down into a center of humility. Okay, of knowing that you don't know everything, of knowing that the world is vast and that other people's opinions are valuable, even if you can't see the value. Okay, it's becoming bigger than ourselves. Okay, but when you can do that, y'all, it just becomes so much fun to be that strong-willed person who can't be swayed. Seriously. Okay, yeah, you bend a little bit, but you got to bend in the wind or you break. All right? So that is a huge lesson, and they definitely tapped into that. Be kind to yourself and others, and allow this fresh beginning into your life. Allow this fresh beginning into each experience. If somebody's coming at you with the same energy as you've encountered before, double down on your kindness. Double down on your acceptance. Think inside your head. This is what I do. And I've just learned the mastery of when people are obviously trying to provoke me or trying to, be utterly contrary to what my message is. I basically have gotten to the point where I absolutely support them in that. I support them in their journey. Why wouldn't I? That's the kindest thing I can do. Do I tolerate stuff? Hell no, I don't tolerate stuff. But I do support people in their journey, and I invite them to leave. Basically, if you're not understanding what I'm saying and you don't want to understand what I'm saying, then I support you on your journey to keep going and find something that makes you feel better. Find something that makes you feel settled. Find something that doesn't make you feel so combative. I support you in that. Good day. And do you have any idea how empowering that is? It's so empowering. We do not have to readdress people. We do not have to have an answer. We do not have to pull the sword every time someone pulls one on us. Just lean out of the way and let them keep going with their sword until they fall over face down. Seriously, that's the kindest thing you can do for them and yourself. So, I was so excited when I saw this kindness card, because I do know the spirit message for y'all here is just that. Try really hard to work on that for yourself. When you find yourself like just reacting, because this is the way you would react in this situation anytime, okay? Oh, well, I've had this happen to me. I've had somebody lie to me about stuff like this, and I'm just gonna, no, you know what? Don't worry about it. Just understand that people are people. They are who they are. But why would you take that on? Tap into your sense of kindness for yourself. Tap into your love center for yourself first, because the minute you can do that, then you've got it for the others. And when you've got it for the others, you let yourself off the hook. You are not any longer being able, they are not any longer being able to drag you around on their hook. And that's the whole name of the game, y'all. That is the whole name of the game, because the minute you're not being dragged around by other people's hooks, guess what you're free. You're free to go about your merry way, and you are free to live your best existence on this life. You are free to live your evolution, your best journey here, rather than being dragged around by somebody else's hook constantly. Taking you off your game, taking you off your path. Now, woo, she's got a lecture. I'm not reading the lecture because this is just so exciting. This is such a great card. So if you got kindness, you know what? See it as a tool. I'm going to go ahead and shuffle these grace cards and get you a grace card. But see it as a tool. See it as a skill. See it as a skill that you want to work on. You want to hone this skill. Because when you can hone the skill of detached kindness, you're ruling everything. You are ruling your own energy. And when you rule your own energy, you're purposefully creating your existence on this planet. And that's top tier, baby. It doesn't get better than that. All right, now I got you. I think this is it right here. Beautiful. Oh my gosh, y'all, dance. Okay. When we ask for guidance, take action, and put our faith in an outcome we cannot yet see, we have begun to dance with grace. All right, y'all, that's the magic formula. It really is. Think about what you want in your world. Ask for guidance on how to be your kindest self so that other people can't trip you up with their stupid stuff, with their static, with their disbelief in your journey, with their disbelief in your dreams, because right now is the moment, especially planetarily, we are being supported to dream seriously big, like gazillion times bigger than you've ever dreamed. There is a portal or an avenue or an energy field, something. There's some sort of energy highway that's being made available to us. If we can harness our best self is our kind self. It's the self that doesn't have to constantly justify ourselves, justify what we want, justify how we're being, justify the way we want to live our lives. It's that self that's just confident. And it's like, don't worry about it. I got this. I understand your trepidation. We're good. God bless. See you later. And that is dancing in the universe. It's like, okay, we don't know where we're going. And we can just ask ourselves, if you're not a religious person and you're not a prayer, when you talk to yourself, you're talking to that inner sanctity, that wise inner thing that every one of us has. It doesn't matter what you believe in faith-wise or what you don't believe faith-wise. You can't, if you're a human being, you have this thing in you, and it is an inner wise guidance. Okay? So when you ask for guidance, even if it's from yourself, tell yourself what you want, because that wise self inside is absolutely listening. Okay? And then be practical about it. Give yourself a reason to believe in what you're doing. And the best way to do that is to do something about it. It's not enough to wish upon a star. You can wish upon a star all night long. But if you don't do anything in your life to back that desire up, your psyche, your human psyche, is not going to have enough to go on. And it's going to remain a distant star out there. It's not going to bring it down to earth for you. The thing that the human needs is a reason. We need a reason. We got to have a reason to believe. Well, your best reason to believe is your practical action to support these things that you think you want and you need. Okay? So if you've got a desire, if you've got a dream, if you want to manifest something, think about it practically. Put it in the terms of what it is that you need to make this thing happen. Ask for guidance. What do I need? And you're going to be shown. So be ready for the answer. Once you ask, it is given. The end. That is the simple math of this life. The trick is to be receptive, be in a humble space enough to know that you are going to be given what you've asked for. You're worthy of that. And that is a part of humility. Settling yourself down, not putting your hand in the face of God, not putting your hand in the face of Source and just denying the fact that you are due these things, that you're due support, that you're due information, you're due answers. But they're going to come in a myriad of ways in your world, and you got to be ready. And you got to be ready you got to be available. You've got to be, how do you do that? You have to have some sort of a measure of faith, And you show your faith by putting practical action behind your dreams and your visions and your desires and the things you want to manifest in your world. And then at that point, you have done your work. At that point is when you let your faith in the system, in the process. You have faith that your will over this situation will manifest itself in perfect divine timing and in the perfect way. Okay, but that is the magic formula, and that is being about as kind and loving to yourself as you could possibly be. Believing in yourself, taking it easy on yourself, not being hypocritical with yourself or with others, because when you're doing that to others, you're basically doing it to yourselves. Okay? And I know there's a little bit of disconnection between these two cards, but for me, not really. I'm just having a difficult time bringing them together, and I hope that you can, because you're part of this process, especially with these readings, these pick-a-card readings. But this in itself is a huge message for you. Okay? Speak it. Think it. Decide what you want. Do what you can in your world to show support for the things that you say that you want. Say that you need. Think that you want to have happen in your world. And then really believe in yourself. Believe that if these things are for you, if these things are for your highest good, because remember, Source and the universe are operating on our highest good. So a lot of the time when we want things in our lives, well, number one, we may not be ready. or the things around us that we can't see, the clockwork, the mechanics of our reality are not going to support that at this time. We can't know that. So rather than doubting the systems, rather than doubting our journey, you got to just settle in and do what you can do on a practical level. Be busy in your world. Be grateful for where you are, who you are, where, the dreams that you have. Be grateful that you are who you are. Because when you're investing that kind of kindness in yourself, things will unfold for you magically and better than you could ever have expected. That's the part of the faith that gets tricky for people, because if things don't pop up exactly like they've planned for themselves, then they think all is amiss, all is a wash, or well, it just didn't work. Well, you have no idea. You have no idea this big picture that's being put together for you, and the best thing you can do is stay in communication with yourself, stay in communication with Source. Don't lose sight of your big dreams, and do everything practically possible in your 3D life to support yourself in these things. Really do it. Honor these deals you make with yourself. If you want to go to Hawaii, well, start saving that money. Do a little bit of a sacrifice here and there so that you can do something practically possible to give your psyche a reason to make it happen for you. You see what I'm saying? So you're like, well, I want to go to Hawaii, but I'm not going to do anything about it. I'm just going to expect the boat to show up. Well, good luck. I just say, good luck with that. But if you're actually doing something, if you're actually putting the squirreling a little bit away, if you're watching videos, if you're learning about the culture, you are setting the stage for that reality to make itself manifest in your world. Okay? And that in itself is showing faith in these things that you think you want and you need. All right? All right, y'all. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to go off on that. Anyway, thank you so much for being here, my friends. I really appreciate your time. I really do. I love these pick a card readings, and I hope you got something out of it. And it is a little bit late here, so I'm going to run. But I will be back for a grace card in the next day or two, y'all. And if you care for the video, please hit that thumbs up. That's cool. But I'm just so appreciative that you were here and that you gave me your time of day. I really do appreciate that. If you want to subscribe, that'd be very cool. And yeah, I guess that's it for today. Take care of yourselves, my loves, and I will see you soon.